Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with a quick review of the Vivo 2-monitor stand. This is model number stand-V002L. Now, this product allows you to mount two monitors on top of each other on a single stand in a really secure way. It gives you a lot of flexibility, too, about how the monitors are organized, where they're positioned relative to each other. And the stand also allows you to twist the monitor a little bit if you have to adjust that angle. You can tip it back and forward. You can even rotate it 360 degrees, so it's an incredibly versatile stand. Now, I've got a completed one over here, and you can't really see the top of it because it's 35 inches from the bottom to the top, so it's a really nice tall stand that you can put on your desk. And if you only have a single monitor and you really need to elevate it over another monitor that happens to be sitting on your desk, this will work really well for that kind of purpose too. Now, what I have in front of me is an unassembled unit. It's incredibly easy to put together, and they give you a full instruction manual that explains every step, but I thought I'd show you a few things that I've learned while I put this one together, because I own 4 of these, if you can believe that. I have a lot of monitors around the house, and I love having 2 screens that allow me to extend my desktop to those external screens and get a whole lot more screen real estate, so I can open a lot of different programs in full frame so I can actually see what I'm doing. But this is the unassembled product, and I just want to walk through what's included with the kit, because Vivo's a company that really understands what you're going to do with the mounts that they sell, and they include everything you need to assemble the mount and to actually mount your monitor onto the mount, because a lot of times you'll buy a kit like this and then realize you've got the kit, it's assembled, you've got the monitor, but there's no way to attach that monitor to the actual kit. You've got to go out and find some other hardware to do that. But here you get everything. So let me start off with how simple this is to put together. It all starts with the base. Now, the base is nice and heavy. It's got rubber along the back and the front, so when you put it down on a desk like this, it's not going to move and it's not going to scratch the surface. You'll notice 3 holes in the bottom of it right there. The first pipe you'll want to mount is this one, because there are 2 pipes in here that are about 15 inches each. This one has 3 holes in the bottom of it that made up with those 3 holes. So the way I assemble it is I'll flip this over, I'll hold the pipe underneath it like this, and I'll drop one of these 3 screws through that hole and then mount it in here, and then do the other 2. They include the wrenches you'll need to actually tighten that up. Now, once this is done, you've got the base mounted with the bottom pole. There's a collar right here that's threaded. It's a double threaded collar, and there are 2 Allen screws right there. My suggestion would be to take those Allen screws out, because what this collar does for you is allow you to attach it here and then screw this second pipe into the top of the collar right there, so you can actually attach the 2 together. But if the Allen screws are in the holes, I found that they're going to actually catch on the threads when you're trying to spin it down. So pull both of those out, spin this down until it's all the way pretty much to the bottom. But the key thing is you want to locate these to the back of the stand so you don't see these big ugly screws on the front. For me, that's just a cosmetic thing, but spin it so these are facing the back, and then once you have it all the way down, tighten this bottom one. That'll hold it in place. Then screw the top one into the top. Once that's all the way down, tighten this top one right here, and that'll lock the pipe together. They also include a little cover for the top of it that you can pop on the top of this one, so you've got, nothing falling down inside that pipe. So once you've mounted that, you're all set to actually mount the attachments for the monitors. Now, this unit will accommodate monitors between 13 inches and 30 inches wide. So that's a pretty wide range for monitors. It'll actually accommodate monitors that are even wider than that, up to 34 inches if it's an ultra wide monitor. So you can mount pretty much anything you own on this stand. And it comes with Visa mounts right here that have both 75 by 75 millimeter and 100 by 100 millimeter holes. So this will fit the vast majority of monitors on the market, but make sure your monitor has that type of Visa mounting. The nice thing about this is they include a ton of mounting gear right here that allow you to actually connect that to the monitor. So like I said a minute ago, they include everything you need to immediately use the stand with any monitor you have. Now, you may already have mounting screws to put that attachment on your monitor, but more often than not, if you've owned the monitor for a while and maybe it was on a desk stand, you've probably thrown these out or lost them. So I love the fact that they include those. And then what you'll do with it essentially is mount this to the back of your monitor using these screws or the screws you already have. Once this is securely attached to your monitor, you'll notice on here there's a thumb screw, and there are 2 thumb screws right there. You'll take this off, and once the monitor is mounted to this, you'll essentially just slide this down over top of that, put the thumb screw on it, and that way it's not going to move around on you. Now imagine there's a monitor mounted on the front of this. But once that monitor's mounted there, I can spin the monitor this way, 360 degrees. I can tilt it this way. I can tilt it back. I can tilt it down. So it gives you a lot of flexibility as to how that monitor's positioned on your desk. 2 other things to keep in mind. It's really important when you put this together, because once you have those pipes assembled, you'll have to mount these on the pipes, and you'll probably notice that the mount itself has two ends to it. One end has a hole in it where the thumb screw goes, the other end doesn't. So you want to make sure when you slide this down over the pipe, actually before you put this collar on, I should have mentioned this, before that collar goes on, slide this first one down because it's going to be hard to get it past that collar. So slide the first one down, put the collar on, put the top pipe on, and then slide the top one on. But the key thing to remember is to keep that hole at the top because the monitor is going to slide down like this and you'll need to put the thumb screw in the top. If you put it on like this, you're going to have to take it apart again, especially if it's the bottom one, and then undo it, flip it over, and put it back on. So when you're assembling it, and again, this is all explained in the manual, but I've tripped over all of these issues, so that's why I'm mentioning them. Make sure you keep that hole in the top. So once you've got it mounted on there, you can then position it where you need as far as the relative distance between the monitors, and then you'll tighten this one on the back, and it'll stay right where you left it. Now, again, I love the fact that they include all of the Allen wrenches you'll need to actually attach it and adjust it and all the things you'll need to do to assemble it. The last thing I want to mention was a cable management system which they've included, and I think this is great because I'm a bit of a stickler for a messy desk. I don't like HDMI cables and power cables and everything else hanging around. So these snap over the back. I've got them both on here now. You can see these two on there. I position those in the back, and then what you can do is actually clip the HDMI cable and power cable for your monitor in here and in here, and then out the back, down the back of your desk. You won't even see the cables because it pulls it in nice and tight against the pole. So it looks very professional. And if you're a YouTuber or somebody that's doing streaming at your desk and your monitor's visible, boy, you want to clean those cables up. And it's great that they include these because other mounts that I've bought didn't include the cable management, and then you end up with cable ties or electrical tape or Velcro strips or something. It just looks kind of hokey. So you get those in the kit. And again, I've used 4 of these up to this point. That's my 3rd one. This is my 4th one. I've got 2 others I've been using for over a year, and I just love it because Vivo is a company that builds a lot of different monitor mounts. They make ones that attach to your desk. They make dual arm mounts. They make bigger ones that roll around. This one is one of my favorites because it's really easy to use. It's not that expensive compared to a lot of other mounts on the market, and it's just really solidly built. This base is going to stay where it is. The monitors are positioned far enough forward on the base where you don't have to worry about it tipping over. You won't have to worry about tipping back. It doesn't have any additional weight in the base, so I think it's wonderful, and I've used it again for well over a year with 2 sets of monitors, and it just works wonderfully. So hopefully you found this review helpful. I think it's a great set. I like it a lot, and I think you're going to like it a lot as well. So thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy!